Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is December 6, 2024, and we're going to discuss the possible opponents of Barcelona in the Copa del Rey. Also, the club are currently preparing a new economic lever that would allow them to register Dani Olmo. And finally, Xavi Simons has emerged once again as a possible option for the club. We have a lot to discuss. So let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and I'm still out of the country. This is why I'm bringing you this short live stream to keep you up to date on all Barcelona news. This is not a podcast, so it won't be long, and also I won't be addressing the chat section. Having said all that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. If you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure to go Kids Get Back with Fanatics. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure to bet us. All links are down below in the description. Now let's begin with the news because, ladies and gentlemen, on Monday, Barcelona will find out who will be their opponent in this Copa del Rey as the round of 32 will begin. And that's when the big clubs join the competition, including Barcelona and Real Madrid. And so far, there have been some interesting upsets in the Copa del Rey, including Barbastro eliminating Espanyol, Pontevedra, eliminating Villarreal and Logrones, eliminating Girona. So 3 teams out of the first division have already been knocked out by third division teams. And on Monday's draw, Barcelona will will get an opponent either from Primera Federation, which is the third division, or Segunda Federation, which is the fourth division, which means that Barcelona's opponents could be Barbastro, Pontevedra, Logrones, or Ourense. So those are the 4 teams that Barcelona could end up facing. Of course, we'll find out on Monday who will be Barcelona's first opponent in the Copa del Rey, which will be in the round of 32. And of course, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. Who do you guys prefer? I know it probably doesn't really matter. These are third and fourth division teams, but do not underestimate the competition because, as you've seen, these teams have already eliminated 3 teams from the first division. So the competition is definitely going to be a tough one. And again, Monday we'll find out who will be Barcelona's first opponent. And who knows, maybe Szczesny's first opponent, as it's expected that he will be the goalkeeper for the Copa del Rey. Now, more news because Barcelona are reportedly preparing a new economic lever that will allow the club to reach the 1-1 rule and as such register Dani Olmo and Pau Victor, whose registrations will expire at the end of this year. Now, Barcelona, we're hoping that the Nike deal would help the club reach the 1-1 rule with that signing bonus of 150 million euros. But due to the financial fair play rules of La Liga, that signing bonus had to be divided upon the length by the length of the contract. So the 150 million is not going to count as income for this year. Rather than it's going to be income divided by 10 years. So 150 million divided by 10, that's 15 million euros per season. And as such, Barcelona then were unable to reach the 1-1 rule, but even though they signed the new Nike deal. So then they started looking for selling that portion of Barca Vision that they had sold to the German investment fund Libero, which they didn't pay for. As you know from previous videos, Joan Laporta has been traveling around the world, meeting with new investors who want to purchase a section of Barca Vision. But it seems that Laporta was not too happy about the proposals he was coming across because, after all, Barcelona really want to maintain a majority of the ownership of Barca Vision so they can have control over it. So since the club or Laporta and the board were not too happy with the offers they were getting, they decided to wait a bit longer until a new and proper investor can come across. So now Barcelona are considering a new economic lever that would help them reach the 1-1 rule, and that's the sale of the VIP seats at the new Spotify Camp Nou. Now, Barcelona would sell these seats for a length of 20 years which would generate a total of 200 million euros, which would count towards this year's income. And as such, Barcelona will be able to reach the 1-1 rule. Now, Barcelona have already been fighting with La Liga to try to reach the 1-1 rule. Joan Laporta has been in constant communication with the Spanish league to try to get all these new sponsorships and agreements that the club have signed to count towards the financial fair play and therefore reach the 1-1 rule. But so far, Laporta has been unsuccessful, and therefore this is the newest economic lever that would help the club reach the 1-1. Laporta has already brought this idea to La Liga. La Liga have approved it, so if it goes through, Barcelona should be able to reach the 1-1 rule. And this is not, let's say, something new in the world of football. Many of the major European clubs have done this, where they've sold their VIP seats for a length of time in order to generate income, including Real Madrid. They did that last year. They sold their VIP seats to generate income for their club. So Barcelona looking to emulate many of these European clubs by selling their VIP seats for a period of 20 years, which again would generate an immediate income of 200 million euros, which would help Barcelona reach the 1-1 rule and therefore register Dani Olmo, who will need to be registered starting next year. Laporta has taken the registration of Dani Olmo as personal. He's taken it into his own hands because Dani Olmo agreed to come to the club despite the club not being able to guarantee his registration. So Laporta, appreciates that commitment or appreciates that sacrifice that Dani Olmo did to come to Barcelona. As such, he has taken the registration of Dani Olmo's matters into his own hands. He has been, again, looking for investors, constantly talking to La Liga, seeing everything that he could do in order to reach the 1-1. And again, with this new economic lever, Barcelona is expected to reach the 1-1 rule. And they're even saying that there's a company in Qatar who would be willing to buy all the VIP seats all at once, so pay the 200 million euros cash upfront. And of course, that would be beneficial for Barcelona because Barcelona are looking to finalize this economic lever by the winter transfer market, again, allowing them to register Dani Olmo and, of course, Pau Victor. Now, finally, let's end this video with the news that Xavi Simons has once again become available to the club as an option. Now, the 21-year-old attacking midfielder who can also play on the wings is reportedly looking to leave PSG on a permanent basis this upcoming summer. And he was linked to Barcelona this past summer as an option for loan, but those talks kind of cooled off. He ended up going to Leipzig, but now once his loan is over at the end of the season, he goes back to PSG. He wants to leave PSG for good. He wants to be offloaded on a permanent basis. And of course, his number one preferred destination remains FC Barcelona. So if Barcelona are interested in signing Xavi Simons, he would definitely be an option for the club. And also his price will be cheaper because last summer his price was around 90 million euros. But given that his contract expires in 2027, that means that there would only be 2 years left on his contract. And they're saying that around for 50 to 60 million euros, PSG would be willing to part ways with the former La Masia player. Now, Barcelona, of course, right now are not contemplating this because their main option is still the left wing. But again, after all, Xavi Simons can play as a left winger, so it is a pretty viable option. Of course, there are plenty of clubs in the Premier League, including Liverpool, who are interested in signing Xavi Simons, but Barcelona do have an ace up their sleeve, which could benefit them. A, obviously the player prefers to come to Barcelona, and B, his agent is a very close friend of Joan Laporta, is a very close friend of Barcelona, and has helped the club in the past, including helping the club closing the Spotify deal, helping the club signing Cesc Fabregas, and helping the club signing Thierry Henry, and most recently helping the club closing the Nike deal. So Xavi Simons wants to come to Barca. His agent, very good friend of Laporta and the club. So those are two pluses in Barcelona's column. But of course, the question remains, is Barcelona going to want Xavi Simons? We'll have to wait and see. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Would you like Barcelona to sign Xavi Simons? Let me know down below. Anyways, that is all the news for this video. We'll be going live in a few more moments because there is more news to share with you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, drop a comment. And as always,